Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being with us today, whether it's live here at this very moment or watching the recording later at a later time. Welcome and thank you for giving yourself this time to just reflect on our topic today of relationship. It's a big one, and as usual, Ljubica and I have spent quite a bit of time talking to each other about this and realising the enormity of the topic, and perhaps just picking out a few little points to share with you for you to reflect on and take what you will. As always, we are giving you our thoughts, but it's entirely up to you, of course, what you take from it. All of it, none of it, some of it, it's your choice. So thank you for being here, and I will, actually what I'll do to start with, just say hi to Ljubica, sorry.
Hi, Lynn. Thank
Good
you for
morning.
acknowledging me.
Sorry.
And hello, everyone.
Yeah. Before we begin, I might just do a very quick drop-in. Ljubica and I have had a little bit of time beforehand to do that, but I'd just like for you to be present here in this moment, to be able to absorb what we're saying by just focusing on our words. And so I just invite you to quickly close your eyes and take 2 or 3 deep breaths just into your tummy, filling up your tummy and up through your solar plexus and heart and chest into your throat, holding it for a moment and then having a big sigh out. Allowing all of your days or evenings thoughts to be put aside just for this short period of time. And another deep breath in and out. Feeling your body relaxed and your heart and mind becoming centered. Being aware of your body, listening to your heart. Hearing the silence between the words, where the true message lies. And when you are ready, I invite you to hold on to this feeling, but open your eyes and be here, present in the moment. Thank you. And I would now love to hand it over to Ljubica. Gee, I've got tongue-tied today, haven't I? Sorry, Ljubica, to introduce our topic for today. So thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here with us. Let me quickly check if anybody's with us so I can acknowledge that. And excuse us for, from time to time, just turning our look somewhere else, but here. Looks like for now we have no followers. That's what's showing on my screen anyway. Hello, everyone whoever might be or might not be watching, who might be watching later. So I will come with reading a short paragraph that I had written of the day before. So I've got something else on my screen. Okay, let me start with this relationship. I will begin with the statement, life is so simple and yet so complex and complicated. Why? Because over the eons, we lost connection of our mind with our body. We lost connection between our masculine and our feminine. when I talk about masculine and feminine, I'm not talking about male and female, but rather each of us individually. As each of us, whether you're male or female, carrying both aspects of life, feminine and masculine, yin and yang. We live in a world of dualities, polarities, opposites. So what does that have to do with the relationship? If we know how to create balance and harmony, integrating our shadows in the light, allowing our masculine and feminine within to dance and support one another, creating intimate, loving relationship of yourself with your own self, all the other relationships would be balanced and in harmony. Easier said than done, I agree. I still believe that life is simple. That's what the task of each of us individually is, to work on recreating simplicity in our lives again. This is a good way to start discussion about this topic, because I believe that the less clutter in our lives, the clearer channels and stronger connections between us, therefore stronger relationship. Where do I even start with this? How far in the past do I go? How deep? How wide? What area of your life relationship needs attention? Is it family or spouse, partner, children, work colleagues, neighbor or neighbors? What about relationship with the money? What about your work, your health, your body image? I believe it all comes from one and the only place, which is this one. Always. Relationship with yourself.
Absolutely.
So I will pass it to Lynn to share her experience around one of the only aspects, only one of the aspects of her life, because there's so many.
Thanks, Ljubica, and thanks for that beautiful reflection, because yeah, it really sank to my heart, that you're absolutely correct in my opinion. Not that there's right and wrong, of course, but absolutely relationship with ourselves, without that self-love, how can we love another? Without self-love, how do we care for ourselves? How do we create abundance, a good relationship with money or any other material thing, if we don't first love ourselves? And this has been a huge lesson for me, where I was kind of unconscious of that need to love myself and focused on loving others and caring for others. And not that that's a bad thing, that was an absolutely good thing, but I was way out of balance. All my love and care was going outside of myself and leaving nothing for me. And therefore it really, over time, it affected my health. And still I ignored it and continued on, and until I was burnt out, more or less. Had a lot of health issues, small things over time that I ignored because I was too busy. So I was totally ignoring that relationship with me until it got to a point that I had to let go of everything else I was doing and just care for me, because I was so burnt out and run down from basically from ignoring myself and ignoring that relationship with myself. What did I need? My heart was screaming at me, stop, look after yourself. And yet I ignored that. And so having turned that around now and having a much better balance of looking after my own health and well-being, I have exponential energy left for looking after others but also having boundaries around what I was capable of, listening to my own relationship with me, that I couldn't be all things for everybody. And so I've put those boundaries around what I am capable of and have a much better, happier life, a much more balanced relationship with myself and with others. And I'm finding that people aren't expecting as much of me because they're respecting my boundaries and not that anyone sucked the life out of me. I allowed that to happen, but that's how it felt. Yeah. So yeah, it's not the relationship that automatically comes to mind. When we talk about relationship, we always think about between two people, but yeah, there's lots and lots of ways, bits are said of interpreting relationship, and that very first one, the most important one, is that relationship with yourself and your inner wisdom. So just on that note, I think that's as much as I'd like to say about that at the moment, and perhaps Ljubica would like to share her experience and we can have a chat about that.
Yes, thank you, Lynn. That's so beautifully explained and beautiful share.
Thank you.
I believe that we are in a new stage of evolution, that we are presented to see a different way of dealing with everything around us and within us, creating different kind of relationship. Rather than expecting somebody or something to happen outside of us. So, for example, if you have this thought, oh, if I only have money, I can do this or that. Or if this person is just better in his behavior or her behavior, our relationship can be better. Or if this, if that. In my world, in my own experience, until I realized that it doesn't work like that. I am the main point, and once I create that relationship within, strong relationship, only then people are going to see me for who I am, and our relationship starts turning different way. I'm not quite sure if I'm explaining this the way that you may understand, but I'll give you one great example of mine, starting with one thing you might have heard or might not. It's called kintsugi. I'm not quite sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly. It's a golden joinery, an art in Japanese art, where you fix broken, for example, if I break this cup, drop it, goes in pieces. There is a material which is mixed with gold. You join all those broken bits and pieces and recreate with those beautiful joineries. And you actually, that represents your life. It is symbolic, representing your life, recreating whatever you have created in your life, what you once have seen or have experienced as something traumatic, bad, sad, whatever was there, you are creating out of those pieces, making it, joining them with the gold. What gold represents, it's something valuable, and creating even more beautiful piece of art, cup, with all those that you once have seen, broken heart, broken pieces of your life. You're joining them together, and they are looking even more precious, enriched with gold, right?
Beautiful
So
analogy. Making it whole again.
making it whole again, and yet even more valuable, engraved with gold, with the gold.
With the
So
wisdom. Yep.
joining all bits and pieces, those bits and pieces represent our lessons. Every bit, broken bit of this cup would represent one lesson. But it's a choice if that's going to be joined in pieces or if you're going to throw it away. That those little lines, golden lines, they represent your life journey. So sharing this, why am I sharing this? What does that do within relationship in my life? Again, one of the personal things that I'm sharing, but it's so beautiful and profound, and I'm not expecting you, and yeah, I'm just not expecting you to understand if you choose not to, but just if you can listen carefully and take what's there for you, what's not, forgive me or whatever. My life journey with my beautiful husband who passed away a few years ago was a rocky road. Was a true rocky road. And I was not back then seeing that as something beautiful. It was so painful for me and for him, because we didn't know how to create this relationship between us. We didn't know. We just didn't know. We went through a lot of pain. We could have chosen to go many different ways, but that was all we could do, and that was the level that we were at. That was all we knew how to do back then.
Forgiveness of self is also part of self-relationship, isn't it? Letting
Our
go.
relationship back then, we didn't see as beautiful. Only now I can see that was a perfect relationship for what we needed to learn through each other. We got it. Now I'm holding that cup. I am holding that cup. Kintsugi. I always have to read that word. Can't remember that. And I am that cup. Turning back, I can see those golden lines engraved in my life. I can see them joined together. I didn't throw them away. They are so precious to me. I love this cup that I'm holding, and I love every bit and piece of that cup that represents my lesson that I learned. I just love it. And that's where I am, where I am. Yeah,
Beautiful.
sometimes you get to go through what we call a hell in your life, to join those bits and pieces with the golden, beautiful lines in Create Cups, and I will post in a comment this name, Kintsugi, and you will, if you wish, you can go and
There's so much wisdom in your words there, Ljubica, and thank you for sharing such a beautiful and intimate story with us. And I think your story highlights the fact that there is beauty and things to be learnt from the pain, as well as from what we perceive to be the good things in our lives. If our lives aren't all sunshine and roses, we think that there's something wrong, but there's not at all. It's all about taking what's in that pain and seeing the value for you in that and in your relationship. Yeah. So thank you so much
for sharing. There's a big part of letting go, forgiveness.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's a big part of accepting those things as lessons. There's a big part of that, seeing yourself not as a victim any longer. There's a big part of seeing value in everything. Yeah, there's a lot of
just as in my story too. It's about not beating yourself up for what's happened in the past. Let go of what's happened in the past and learn from it, and strengthen that relationship with self.
Yeah.
And then you, by doing that to start with, then you see the beauty in the lessons that you've learned from all the ups and downs, the wave of life.
One thing just came to me to mention is, which is the hardest part, seeing where is my responsibility in this, or where was I, where do I contribute to this? But this is also comes to the part my relationships with me. What am I projecting out to the world, to that person, to, and so on and so forth. So many questions. Just if you just come up with one question, why is this showing up in my life? Where am I at in my relationship with myself that I am attracting in my life? What am I attracting? So I don't know if you understand or don't. You're welcome to ask questions too, because it's really too little time to go deep. And we do have place where we go deep. So yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome to contact either of us to go deep. But I think an easy explanation, this may trigger some people, but it's certainly something to think about. It's not meant as a way of not meant to upset you, but to make you think from your heart, not from your head. Start thinking from your heart. What we see in others mirror what's in us. And I found that very difficult at first to comprehend. But when I stopped thinking about it, just asked the question of myself in my heart and just let it go, all the answers came to me. You don't have to overthink it at all. Just ask yourself the question, why is this person so annoying to me? Or why is this person so hateful to me? Or why does this person do whatever? And you can, maybe it's easier to start with the little niggly things than big issues you have with family or whatever. Start with those little things and see what's happening inside your own life that's triggering those responses in you. Why is it so annoying to you?
Yes, one thing, Lynn, I don't want to miss in
holding
this.
up a mirror. Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
One thing I don't want to miss in this call to mention, I hope this is not true in your life. I really hope and pray. But if there is anybody that find yourself in a toxic relationship, when I say toxic, you examine yourself. What is the toxic relationship when you really feel physical threat or for your body and for your life? The most important thing is to withdraw yourself out of that situation immediately.
Yes, there's no self-reflection in that sort of a
and then
situation.
work on all those things that we are talking about, which is another level. But if you found yourself, that is a immediate thing that you should do. We are not, of course, here to advise you how to do that. There are many people who can help with that, helplines and things like that. So please do whatever you feel you need to do. There is a lot of help. So I won't spend too much time on that, but just wanted to let anyone who might have been in situation that that's what it is.
Absolutely.
No point spending time in working on yourself if your life is threatened.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
Immediate withdrawal and then work on yourself. So,
for sure. It's
yes.
a big topic, as we said, to begin with, and we've only just really scratched the surface. But like Ljubica and I said, we are very, very happy to speak to anyone that would like to speak to us and go a little deeper. We're in the throes of offering some programs that will help unpack this a little more and a bit deeper and make it a little easier to understand. But for now, we just wanted to plant the seed of
exactly
thinking and looking into your relationship with yourself first and foremost. So
yeah,
thank you so much.
Another thing I wanted to mention, I know we are getting close to conclude this, but our relationship with money is another big topic which can actually be the main topic that is connected to everything else, relationship in your family, with your work, relationship with everything.
Exactly. And relationship with money, if it's not good, can affect every other aspect of your life too. So that's an important one as well.
Yes. Why Lynn and I discussed about this before this call, and we decided not to talk too much about this, just to mention this, but rather point and direct you to a lady, our beautiful member here. You can comment on this, Tanga. I already discussed this with you and asked your permission to share this. Yeah, so I've got your permission, and we will share the link so you can go. And she had a beautiful live recording and last Saturday morning. Actually, she promised that she will share. I will still sort this out with her. You will be given the link to visit her talk. She is amazing. She focuses on specifically on money relationship. So
and that's her expertise too. So we certainly don't want to advise you in any way, shape, or form about money relationships.
She shares her perspective. Yeah, she's she's very good.
And she is an expert in that field. Yeah.
Yeah. Go and see. You will figure out yourself if there's how much you can gain from there. So yeah.
Thanks for reminding me to do that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's also worth to rewatch. I definitely will.
Yeah.
Let me just have a look quickly if I think we basically touched.
Yeah, I think we need to leave it for today. It's like we said in the beginning, it's such a big topic, and we could actually, Ljubica and I have spent quite a lot of time discussing it between us, and
Yeah,
trying to just draw out a few things that we could focus on today to allow a little bit of understanding on the topic. But yeah, I think
yeah. If you would
we're
allow
running
me,
out of time.
Lynn, I would also just quickly, if I can just touch on a few little things.
Don't you have to ask me for permission? Just watching the clock, that's all.
Yeah, it's all like I just wanted to mention,
Sure.
um, like everything. This topic is tied to many other topics that we discussed, and
All the topics,
all
all
the
the
topics
topics
are they
we've
are not separate
discussed.
from one another, and
No.
we keep saying that, and this
Mm,
is really true. So you're just coming from a different way to explain one thing.
mm,
So and I just had these little things, little points to mention, to little blocks about building relationship. Um, few words. One is trust, letting go of control, surrender, accept, having your working on your worthiness. Yeah, so that's it. And action that we need to um, action required if we need to, if you recognize that there is change needed in our relationship. So willingness to change. And yeah, I also mentioned this: in extreme cases, withdrawal from toxic relationship
mm,
and seeking help. Then we need to go, if you need to change, asking for support and learning,
mm,
letting go of old patterns and creating new. So I don't think there's
mm.
any more.
That is a huge list.
There's, yeah, I know. Forgive me
And
for
all
being.
things, no, don't be, no, please do not ask for forgiveness. Something there will touch each one of us.
Seems huge, but
Anyone
it's
that's watched,
really.
yeah, and where to start. And, for me, it started with actual meditation, just going within. And by doing that, though, all these little things that had been niggling me came to the surface, and I was then able to seek help or do whatever I needed to do to deal with my relationship with me. So yeah, I think that starting with meditation is fantastic. Like Ljubica said, if you're in a toxic relationship, move away from that before you start. If you are seriously ill, or even if you're just a little bit ill, please seek help for that too, in whichever way you choose. But please just don't ignore it, because things can get out of hand. So yeah, but
I would
when it,
say,
mm,
don't give your power away before you ask your own self what is right for me.
exactly.
Don't give your own power away, because you do
Mm,
have power to decide for yourself. You
mm,
are a sovereign being, and
mm.
you know what is good for you.
Yeah.
And then from there go. And
And I think that's where, for me, and I think Ljubica will agree, that meditation, going within,
yes,
ask yourself, what do I need? Tell me what I need, and all the answers will come. I'm certain of that for me. Please have a go yourself, try it for yourself, whatever your relationship with you is. You know exactly. We are all sovereign beings, and every one of us is unique in our lifestyle, our way of thinking, our issues. So the only one that can really look at that is yourself, and looking within is the very first step. So
relationship of
with
yourself
self.
with yourself.
Mm,
Once your masculine and feminine is in place, in balance, in harmony, everything else begins to adjust according to you. Remember that and work on yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Once you've got you'll notice your relationships with others will change too. When
if
you're
this
actually
triggers
looking
you,
after yourself. Yeah.
if this triggers you, take it as a positive thing. That's what I do always. Why does this trigger me? What can I learn from here?
Absolutely. All right. I think we should go. We could go on. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We'll just have a little tiny prayer of gratitude to finish with. So if you'd like to close your eyes and just look within. When you let go of your thoughts, you recognize you are still alive. You haven't died because you're not thinking, but there's something else within you that's there, another presence, and that's your true self. I'd like to give thanks for that inner knowing, for the universal energy, God, guides, whatever you like to call it, that thing that's within us but is also part of a whole of humanity and the universe. Thank you. Thank you for giving yourself this time, this act of self-love. And I ask you to just go forward in your day with lots of love in your heart for yourself and humanity. Thank you. And on that note, I'd just like to say thank you again for being here, and we shall see you next week. Much love, and bye for now.
Bye.